This is me after someone posts a hateful comment on one of my YouTube videos, and I answer, thanks for the support. These are my internal demons of self-doubt and insecurity returning every time I meet a new person. And this is me talking to guests backstage after a live stream when I've drunk a bottle of gin.
Gin made a machine. And Jojo made it go. I blew a fart and blew the whole damn thing apart.
Hello guys, welcome back to the show. Well, today we're going to talk about fragrances I've got and you probably never will, okay? Let's talk about that. Before we do that, don't forget to buy your fragrance samples in the USA, Canada and Puerto Rico at myfragrancesamples.com. Link in the description. That's my recommended place. Amazing range of niche and designer scents that you can sample there. Please go there. Okay, let's talk about a few of these real gems that I've got in my collection. Ones that a lot of people wish they had, and people often say to me, how do you find these? You must be really lucky. You're so lucky. Well, guys, it's not luck. You've got to put the hours in and you've got to search in the right way to get the vintage fragrances. So we're talking today about rare, discontinued fragrances that are hard to find or hard to find at a decent price. And the way that you may be able to do that, if you've been having trouble with it, is really to search in a clever way, mostly on eBay. So if you do a lot of searches on there for things like used fragrance, vintage fragrance, used aftershave, then that's the way to do it. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is actually, if you just sit there and search for, let's say one day you want to buy Boss Spirit, a discontinued 1989 fragrance, and you type in Boss Spirit and there isn't a bottle at a decent price, or maybe there isn't a bottle at all, well, that's going to get a little bit disheartening. So you've got to cast your net wider, and you've got to have quite a few things on your mind, or that you know of that you'd love to get, and then you do more general search times. So sometimes, my vintage chorus that I'm going to mention, someone had misspelt it. I can't remember, they just spelt it Kuros. So I wouldn't have found it if I was looking for vintage chorus if I'd done that search. But because I searched vintage fragrance or used men's fragrance or whatever, it came up. So it's all about patience. It's like sifting for gold, and you've got to cast your net wide. Let's talk about a few great examples that I'm really proud. Well, it's nothing to be proud of, is it? But I'm lucky, privileged to have in my collection. This one, I think it's a 2007 release. Really hard to find though. It's discontinued and rapidly became very rare. This is Eau Savage Fraîcheur Cure from Dior, of course. So there's a flanker follow-up to the original Dior Eau Savage. I'm trying to see if I've got the box there. Yes, I do. And it's really actually very similar to the original. Actually, very similar to the original formula of Dior Eau Savage, which I really like. And of course, this means fresh leather freshness, I think. And it is indeed it's not a very, very leathery smell at all, but there is a hint of something a little bit different, kind of a warm, smooth, suede-like leather, which really doesn't detract much from the overall fresh, aromatic aura of the original Dior Eau Savage. It's a lovely, lovely twist, and you may prefer, actually, I think I prefer it to the modern, normal Eau Savage Eau de Toilette, but maybe neck and neck with my vintage version, which I think it shares similarities with. So if you get the opportunity to find that one, again, it wasn't something I'd been looking for years, and then it just one day when I was looking at used fragrance, bang, there it was. You've got to be patient and take what's there. And it was like £50 or something, which was a real bargain. Maybe it was 80. Okay, here's another one, really hard to find, Boss Spirit, 1989. According to Chris from Scentland, it is the smell of 80s sunshine bottled. So yes, Boss Spirit. This is a really, really amazing fragrance. I really like this one. How do we describe it? It is fresh, but it's not very citrusy. It's sort of fresh in an aromatic and spicy way. It's like rather fresh herbs and spices with a slightly warm undertone. And there's actually a very unusual note of truffle, which I can't really tell you that I smell. But I really like Boss Spirit. So go and check that one out. If you can find it, you're doing better than most people, because it's really hard to find. Here's another one. Again, as I say, I was searching for vintage fragrances or used fragrance, and that's why I got lucky with Kuros, the Eau de Toilette. Nothing special about finding that. You can still buy it today, but this is the original Paris of the Ritz version. Okay, so if you're a real geek and you know what to look for, on the bottom of the bottle it just says Paris, where some of the other ones say whatever they say. I can't remember the other companies that have done it, but there are other iterations of this one. L'Oreal, or what was the other one? Newly Paris or something. This one just says Paris with some other words there, and you can also tell because the Kuros there is written pretty much halfway down the bottle. All the later versions, it moves up a little bit more, like 3/5 of the way, so geeks will know. So there's a really amazing 1986 formula of the amazing powerhouse that is Kuros. Most of the ones right up to the mid to late 90s and and maybe even beyond still smell very similar and very great, but it is nice to have that in the collection. Another one, of course, I was really lucky with this, found it in a charity shop for £15. Dolce & Gabbana by Man, almost full bottle, incredible aromatic fougere, kind of powdery fougere, takes some cues from things like maybe Jean-Paul Gaultier's La Malle, which was at a similar era because this came out in 97. That was a couple of years before the La Malle, that was released before this. And note lifting, actually very weird. It says pepper, nutmeg leaves, lymph life scent, F knows what that is, lavender, artemisia, sandalwood leather, and gaiac wood, plus ambrox, that's ambroxan, and amber, and they describe it as woody, floral, fresh, and sensual. Sensual, I couldn't have put it better myself. What a bizarre bottle design. What were they thinking? Perhaps that's why it was a commercial flop, not around for long, but much sought after now, because it was a good scent. Also, Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme. Hard to find, but not impossible, so keep searching. That's one where you can search Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme, and if you're patient, you should be able to get a bottle for a reasonable price, but they're becoming more and more scarce. Amazing citrus aromatic fragrance with a hint of tobacco leaf, but a kind of fresh, dry tobacco, not a sweet tobacco. And you have to get the version with the sticker. So the modern version, still not terrible, but any version with the sticker, so it's easy to spot the vintage. Anyone with a sticker, not the stuff just printed like direct on the bottle, is the vintage Euro Italia version. Amazing fragrance. And we have just 2 more to go. I'm lucky to have Escada Pour Homme, incredible mid-90s release, really, really nice, warm, ambery, spicy scent. A little bit of freshness in there too. I think Zaharoff Signature, if I've got that to hand. Yes, Zaharoff Signature took some cues from this. So if you can't find this and you want something, it has some similarities. It's a unique composition, this, from Claude Deer. But, some similarities. That's a modernly available one, which I really like. But, yes, Escada Pour Homme, fantastic 90s release. And last but not least, it's Sports de Paco Rabanne. I've got 2 bottles of this one. Such a great, fresh, aromatic fougere. It's like Paco Rabanne original Pour Homme, but a little bit less rich, a little bit less rugged, and with quite rugged still, but yeah, a little bit less of a powerhouse, and with a little bit of a twist of lime and an accent on the citrusiness. Not going to be it's not the most amazing fragrance you'll ever smell in the world, but there's something really nice to have it just because it's been discontinued for so many years. It's 1986 release. Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed this video, or even if you haven't, then please hit the subscribe button. It really helps me, and it might just help you because you will then be more likely not to miss any of my future tirades here. Guys, that is it. We'll see you in the next one. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, please, let's project. And also, sometimes life may stink, but at least we can always smell good. See you next time. Bye.